afternoon. Wow, the pictures. Cannot see this. My name is Iris. Thank you for the speaker. I want to say that I think I'm the evidence of what you all talked. Sorry. In a way, I'm the evidence of this. לא, רגע, שנייה. עצור. בואי לפה. טוב, סליחה, ממש סליחה. Again, I will start from the beginning. My name is Iris Haim. I'm the mother of Yotam. You see him here in the pictures. Yotam Haim I like to say he is a musician, a 28 years old musician, who planned to perform with his band named Persephone Heavy Metal Band in the 7th of October in Tel Aviv. Instead, he was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists from Kibbutz Kfar Aza, where he lived. He stayed in captivity for 65 days, and he managed to escape with two of his friends to captivity, Alon Shimriz and Samer Talalka. And while they are trying to reach the Israeli army, they were identified by mistake as terrorists and were shot. Yotam, I will speak about him. I lived in Moshav Sde Nitzan. It's also in the Negev, in the western Negev. And Yotam lived in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. We are Israeli, I born here in Israel. My parents born here. And about Yotam he dealt with some mental health issues, problems, and one of them was depression. He asked himself every day if it's worth to stay alive or not. He dealt with this issue really from when he was 18. He had anorexia and many problems, many health problems. And as a reminder of his power to continue living, he tattooed on his body a tattoo of a dot and a comma. A dot means the end. We put a dot when we want to finish something. We put a comma when we want to continue something. And Yotam tattooed this as a reminder for himself of his ability to continue. And at the 7th of October, our country awake to a terrible event, horrifying, and I was in Kibbutz Or HaNer there then. It's near Sderot, maybe you've been there. It's very close to the border, and Yotam was in his apartment in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. After 4 hours of messaging and talking to him, he disappeared, and you know the end. We were surprised by Hamas, but after very few hours, Israel awake to, like you said before me, like the person said, the speaker, I'm imagining, my imagination taking me to like a lion, a big roar of the lion. That's how I felt Israel. That's how I felt my people. That together, I said it also like a tsunami, a big wave of power, of love, of hug of each other, while day before we were fighting each other so hard and we were hating each other. A day after we understood how much love and how much support we can give each other here. It was from all the country, people came, soldiers, young soldiers in the army and the reserve, and people which are not in the army. I know that there was somebody 90 years old that came to fight. And religious people, Haredim, not Haredim, not religious, all started to help by making food, by supporting. I was one of the people that was inside the shelter in that day. But the day after, I got an apartment from friends, I got money, I got food from people that just wanted to do something. And I told one of my friends that lives in the States, and he said, wow, and I said, if something like this happens, it must happen here, because just in Israel, you can survive such a thing. I saw how during the war, during the battles in Gaza, we are flourishing. So I'm not saying that I'm changing the terminology, not post-traumatic growth, inter-traumatic growth. In the trauma, when we are in the trauma, we can flourish, we can erase during what we are going through. We are going through a trauma now. We are still in the trauma. But beside, we are also flourishing. We are also waking and breathing. We are not deep in the trauma. We are near, I don't know, it's new for me also, but I feel, because I'm standing here, my son killed 3 months ago, and I can talk and I can support other people that having the same situation. So I think I am like in the trauma, but also near the trauma. I saw that the Israeli people reactions are so strong, so powerful, and these actions of assistance, caring to each other, they allow us to continue here together. I think I'm like summarizing what other people here before me said, but I feel it. I'm not just talking about it. I'm living this. I saw it, and while my son was in captivity, I could see the meaning for what happens to us. This is our battle for life. This is our battle for freedom. This is our battle for staying in Israel to continue. Like Yotam said, like Yotam act, he continued. We are not putting the dot. We are putting always the comma, and this is our way to put the comma, to be supporting together. And I saw it in my eyes during now it's more than 160 days, but even when my son was there, I could see it. I didn't just saw the hole and the black and the terror and the fear. I could see other things. That's why people know me now in Israel, because I always spoke about the unity of us and not the weakness, but the strengths. I think that before the 7th of October, most of us didn't think like that. But after this terrible day, we know that. This is true. At the end of October, I want to tell you a story. I met a woman named Dina. Dina is an Israeli Jewish religious mother. As you see me, I'm not religious, and before the 7th of October, I was in the left part of the map. I didn't vote Netanyahu government ever, and for me, religious people were like different people. I didn't like them. I didn't want to be with them. I listened too much to the news. But when I met Dina, she is from Bet Shemesh. She's also American Haredit, and she's a mother of Yosef Gedalia. Her son Yosef is one of our heroes. He was killed at the 7th of October. I always cry when I'm talking about him. And when I saw Dina, it was just 2 weeks after, she told me that he died, he was killed he was in the army near the fence of the kibbutz, of the young people neighborhood where Yotam lived. And then I realized when I met Dina, I met that we are sharing a special gene. JMC, I called it, Jewish Mother Chromosome. A chromosome, I'm a nurse also, so it's close to my language, a chromosome of bravery and strength that belong just to Jewish mothers and allowed us to be strong for the continuance of our nation. I think in nowhere in the world, like you said before, you saw the graph, no mother in the world can really resist such a terrible, not terrible, maybe not terrible, but to know that if you are a mother in Israel, I'm a mother of two musicians. My son was a musician, and I was never in my worst dreams thought that I will be a grief mother, because they were musicians. But if you're a mother in Israel, you can expect maybe this destiny. But we have the powers, we have the ability to be mothers like this. We know that this is our duty for continuous, and this is a part of the history also. So when I met Dina, I understood that it doesn't matter if I'm religious or not, what I voted in the elections, how I look and how she's looking. We are here together for one purpose, for continuity. And we are not giving up. We are not putting a dot. We continue to be Am Chofshi Be'artzenu, to be a free country. And that's why we always will put a comma. And I remembered, as I practiced to this speech, I thought about Yosef Trumpeldor. Yosef Trumpeldor, who said, Tov lamut be'ad artzenu. Yosef, until the 7th of October, nobody wanted to lamut be'ad artzenu. Nobody wanted. Nobody believed in this, and now we see, we don't want to die for our country, but we see what is Israel. And I'm proud to be an Israeli citizen, and since the 7th of October, I'm more proud, even what happened to us, even about that, but my proud is up now, is much upper. I think that most of the Israel, I think, now want to be here, want to live here. There are some that don't want, and they will leave Israel. I know there are some that will not go back to their houses in the Negev. My husband is already there. He's working in the fields, as Yotam also worked with him. And he's proud to be a farmer in Israel, to rehabilitate the Otef, how we call it, the Gaza surrounding. So even that, I don't like to say I lost my son, because I feel my son is here, and I feel he give me the reason to continue and to be here as strong. My son was shot by Israeli IDF, and I talked to them, to the soldiers. We said to them that we are not angry about them. We love them, and we hug them, because Israeli IDF, the IDF, is us, and we cannot blame IDF, because they are my children. I had an interview of the Guardian. I don't know if there are English people here, but from there are. So the Guardian, they interviewed me, and they said, I don't know how did all the Israelis didn't go out to the streets to protest against the army. So I told her, so you don't understand who is the Israelis. Israeli army is us, is the army. So thank you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for Yotam. Just one thing, I didn't want to say it before, but Yotam got a reward today from the president, and it's very, very emotional for me to say it. I wanted to say it in the beginning, but I was afraid that I will cry all the speech. So I am thanking Yotam, my son, for being a hero. Yes, he was a hero. And we are all heroes. Thank you.